And we're back, people. Deluded, I'm back again. Big up to you lot that are tuned in on this moment, people. We've just finished the watch along where our under 19s lost 4-3 against Atletico Madrid. Max Dowman obviously scored 2 goals. And I'm still a bit down in the dumps about it, if I'm completely honest with you. But the show must go on. Hopefully, the men's side, which Dowman obviously is going to play no part, can obviously, reverse that or give us a victory. And it's 1-0 to Atletico. Hopefully, the senior men can get it back. Now, we've been linked with Raphinha and Nico Paz for moves in 2026. Apparently, John Cross has spoken about Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz returning. And apparently, you would have seen online Arsenal, apparently, I don't know if they turned off the hot water, but Atletico Madrid players and Atletico Madrid, they weren't necessarily happy about not being able to use hot water after training, obviously, at the Emirates, where they had their preparations for tonight's fixture, people, and they filed a complaint. So we're going to go over all of that. 4 p.m. we've got Zar, so we'll talk about football and whatnot. But yeah, on that note, people, smash the like button, all that good stuff. Let's crack on because we're kind of pressed for time now. This kind of sums up how I feel about Arsenal. We're too big of a club not to have a Champions League trophy. Clubs with the most UCL games without winning the competition. Arsenal have 213. Dynamo Kiev, apologies, have 186. Atletico Madrid, who we face tonight, have 178. Anderlecht have 165. And Galatasaray have 163. We're part of a club that we shouldn't be part of, people. Opta Supercomputer has predicted Arsenal as the favourites for the Premier League. We've got 54.5%. Manchester City have 17.3%. Liverpool have 17.2%. And Chelsea have 4.6%. What do we make of that, people, as well? Arsenal and LA Rams owner Stan Kroenke beat Fulham and Jacksonville's Jaguars owner Saeed Khan twice this weekend. Obviously, the Rams and Arsenal obviously won, so that's an interesting one, people. Arsenal have not faced a single shot on target in their previous 2 games in the Premier League since 03-04. I'm just going to say this off the bat. Arsenal are not getting anywhere near Chelsea's 15 goals, conceding only 15 goals. And that's no slight on us. It's just, I think the dynamics are different. I don't think a team is going to do that again. I don't think a team is going to go invincibles again. So let's just rub that one out immediately. And you could throw Newcastle into this, but these 3 games, obviously, we beat Olympiacos, beat West Ham, beat Fulham, beat Newcastle. Hopefully, we can beat Atletico Madrid and obviously keep it moving. Opta Supercomputer predicted an Arsenal UCL win last season. That's probably because of our league phase. And again, these computers and the bookies, I'm not saying don't have confidence or don't have Arsenal as the favourites for any of these competitions, my boy. But at the same time, big up here in the chat as well. But at the same time, the house always wins, isn't it? The house always wins. And these things can fluctuate. Again, God forbid, but if Arsenal have a shaky bit of games in the Prem and the Champs, and Liverpool and City have a perfect run, the supercomputer is obviously going to say they're the favourites and things like that. And it's going to fluctuate, man. But it is what it is. We have now scored 10 of our 15 goals through set pieces in 8 Premier League games this season. Set piece again, ole, ole, ole. Look at my boys, man. Calafiori, Timber ×2. Gyökeres. Oh, yeah, penalty technically counts. Zuba Mendinho, we all remember that. Zuba Mendinho twice. Marino, it's in the stars. Gabriel Magalhaes is the poster boy. Saka technically scored a penalty and he didn't get an assist, but his delivery in the build-up to the goal that Trossard scored against Fulham, happy man, in my opinion. Now, as I just said, apparently Atletico are not happy, but apparently Arsenal have apologized to Atletico about the hot water failure. Arsenal have apologized to Atletico Madrid after a hot water failure at the Emirates Stadium. I bet it works today. You know what, Arteta and Arsenal, make sure it don't. Left the Spanish side heading to their hotel for showers following a training session. UEFA rules allows visiting teams to train in the home stadium the night before the Champions League matches. Diego Simeone's side were training before the 2 sides meet in the league phase of the competition today. The Atletico staff alerted Arsenal there was no hot water in their dressing room at 6:45, with the Gunners realizing there was a similar issue in the home dressing room too. Really? It started working just as they were leaving DGC. Mind games, man. Absolute mind games, people. Absolute mind games. The team were due to finish training at 7:30, but finished 15 minutes earlier and decided to travel back to their team hotel instead. Spanish newspaper Marca reported that Atletico squad were angry with the situation. Arsenal apologized to Atletico Madrid staff for the inconvenience they caused. Don't worry, we'll give you some vouchers or something, man. It weren't on purpose. We wouldn't do that. So yeah, apparently they've even filed an official complaint. Is it that serious? They were left furious, surprised, and confused. The entire stadium was affected by the issue rather than just the Atletico dressing room. So it's the whole stadium, man. You lot are not special. Apparently, The hot water was restored by 7:25 p.m. That training bus must have stank. That team bus, better yet, must have stank, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, man, let's get the mind games in. John Cross has been speaking as well. Els, appreciate you. Jay, I hope you're doing well and safe. Appreciate you lot. Oh no, Athletic had to wait until they got into their 5-star hotel to have a shower. Miss me with your first world problems. Trust me, man. And you didn't really want a shower because the cold water was there. You could have done what you needed to do. Like Rob is saying, strong man take cold showers, man. Jump in the shower. You didn't want to bathe your skin. Must have smelled crazy. John Cross has spoken, people. Forgotten Arsenal star Gabriel Jesus targets December return from injury nightmare. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta may be set for a double injury boost in the coming months. We need that. Jesus left wing is going to change our lives for a season. With Gabriel Jesus targeting a return to full training and return to action in December as Kai Havertz steps up his fitness work. More bullish naturally on Kai Havertz's return than Jesus is. Jesus is set to give Arsenal a major fitness boost. And Kai Havertz is also stepping up his fitness work as the Germany striker also hopes to be in the first team contention quicker than expected. Jesus is targeting a return to full training and potential first team action by December to give Arsenal's title push a major lift. Jesus, 28, has been recovering after suffering an ACL knee injury in the FA Cup against Manchester United in January. It was a devastating blow for the Arsenal forward who has been plagued by injuries since the 2022 World Cup. But Jesus, a 45 million signing from Man City in the summer of 2022, has impressed Arsenal's medical staff, allegedly, with his determination to come back and has been taking part in sessions on the grass. Jesus is yet to be involved in full training, but is determined to come back stronger and play a full part in the second half of the season. His quality in the Champions League could be important together with his experience and ribbon ability to give Arsenal different options. I extend that to Kai Havertz and obviously Jesus. What do you lot make of that? Meanwhile, Arsenal striker Havertz is also on the road back to first team action and is making good progress after undergoing knee surgery after suffering an injury at Manchester United on the opening weekend of the season. While Havertz is yet to be pictured with the first team training group, the German is expected to return within the coming weeks and could be starting again within a month. So this is great. Big up Jesus, big up Havertz. No updates on Madueke. I feel like there's another one. Jesus, Madueke, Havertz, Odegaard. Ain't he meant to be back as well? Havertz missed the tail end of last season because of a hamstring injury while on the club's warm weather training camp in Dubai, which restricted him to just 2 sub appearances in May. But Havertz blew medical staff away then with his determination to get fit and has done the same again. Martin Odegaard and Noni Madueke are the other 2 first teamers on the injury list, with both expected to be out until after the next international break. For him, on a personal level, I wish Jesus stays injury-free over the whole of 2026. Amen. Media milking to create agendas against us. Jay, you know how it goes, man. Milking. And all they want is clicks in it. And to be fair, they've got it. What is this saying? Arsenal will never have a better chance to win the title, but must solve 64 million Victor Gyökeres problem. Arsenal built a cushion at the top of the Premier League after the early weeks of the season. Really, John Cross? A cushion? Really? In October? With 10 games to play? 8 games where there's 30 left? Fair enough. Good headline. Don't really make sense when you break it down. But yet to get their big money striker firing on all cylinders. Okay, so we've gone over that. What is the bulk of what you're saying? I really admire the Arsenal fans standing up for their man. Gyökeres did well, or better maybe at Newcastle before the international break when he worked hard, occupied defenders and created space. But you should really be getting more bang for your buck. True, would you splash out 64 million than the performance he delivered at Fulham on Saturday? Okay, Gyökeres looked sluggish. His movement was poor. I disagree with the movement being poor, and he missed chances. Of course, Arteta has to say all the right things and back his man. So yeah, you're a Sesko lover, clearly. Why? Well, that's obvious, but there's another big issue. He cannot take him out of the firing line with both Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus still coming back from injury. I mean, technically could. There's still the option of Marino. Bit lazy journalism there. Until then, the reality is that Arsenal will have to keep on playing Gyökeres, and his confidence might take a battering when, in different circumstances, they may have been able to take the number 9 out the firing line to allow him to adapt gradually. Well, you could say that, and it's not necessarily wrong. But if Havertz was fit, it would have probably been a slower integration for Gyökeres. So by that logic, Gyökeres would have played less minutes. He's got his big move. He's playing first team football. You're getting a lot of money. You're playing for Arsenal. Obviously, you're not scoring. There's question marks, which he can handle adversity. When you look on the other hand, really, it can't get any worse than this, can it, people? And we're winning games. And when you consider, I think Saka is still getting up to speed with things, and you know, Fulham was a step in the right direction. Eze is still warming up. Gyökeres is still, all of our attackers, really and truly, we're ticking over. But it's more like if I said to you, lot, who would be your player if the season ended after 8 games? Yeah, who would be your player or players of the season so far? It's probably going to be defenders. So probably Timber, give or take. Maybe Calafiori. Some of you might say David Raya. You might say even Marino. Sorry, Marino. Definitely not. You might say Rice. You're probably not going to say Saka. You're not going to say Gyökeres. You're not going to say the attackers. So when you look at all of that, considering that we're still obviously getting points, considering that there's still a lot to be done in terms of chances created and conversion, but we're actually making a lot of positive inroads. The only way, quote unquote, is up players to come back fit. So it sounds great. They miss Havertz's ability to glide. We miss Havertz, but you're overselling it. We just miss everybody. We want every player as part of the toolbox, right? So let's just utilize them all. And Gabriel Jesus' dribbling skills. They have brought themselves a battering ram in Gyökeres, and even with Arsenal set pieces, corners, and long throws, he doesn't seem able to take advantage of that either. They are playing to his strengths. Okay, but in simple research of Gyökeres would show actually headers and that is dead. And in terms of hold up play, link up play, all of that kind of stuff, we need more than just that. But he's doing this. This is lazy. This is coming across as a bit agenda driven. The former Arsenal striker Alan Smith, one of the club's greatest and first division top goal scorers in both title wins in 89 and 91, summed it up when he said in commentary for Fulham that Gyökeres may lack the technical quality of his teammates but can score 20 plus this season. Gyökeres needs to put them in against the lesser teams, be a flat track bully, but he's not really done that. He has 3 goals and maybe he'll come good, but it's a big worry for Arsenal. He desperately needs a goal and it shows. I agree with that. But this should be Arsenal's time. They spent big in the window, backed their manager, and really it's hard to offer any excuses for not seizing the moment. Liverpool look a team short on confidence, struggling to blend in all of their new signings, and they don't look right defensively. I think City might be the closest challengers. They have moments when they look so strong. They still look as if they're yet to click into gear. That clicking into gear thing, you could afford that to Arsenal, Liverpool, and City, if I'm honest, but they're getting there. This should be Arsenal's year, and if they do it, it'll have to be with or without Gyökeres. How can it be without Gyökeres? Unless his contract's going to get ripped up or sold in January, how can it be without him? Sounds good, not making sense, chatting nonsense. Arsenal are the first side to have 10 different goal scorers in the Premier League this season. Gyökeres, Saka, Timber, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, Marino, Martinelli, Magalhaes, and Trossard, people. Moving away from that, well, that's actually for later. We'll go over that. It's starting as we move towards January. We're starting to get linked with players again. I must admit, I think 99.9% of these things are BS, but it makes for a good story, doesn't it, people? Arsenal plan Barcelona raid for world-class star as transfer journalist tips Andrea Berta to rectify Edu failure. Arsenal sporting director Andrea Berta has set his sights on one of Barcelona's best players, according to Transfer Insider, but the Gunners are unlikely to be able to bring the Brazilian star to the Emirates in 2026. There were as many as 8 new signings for Arsenal in the summer of 2025, with Berta handing manager Mikel Arteta the likes of Eze, Gyökeres, and Madueke. The North London club have one of the best attacking units in the world, really? Fair. With Saka and Odegaard at the top of their game. Okay, cool. And Martinelli and Trossard chipping in with important goals too. However, like all major clubs, Arsenal are always on the lookout for new players, and it seems that one of Barcelona's best players has now made his way on Berta's shortlist. I mean, Arsenal did like him way before Berta was even a thing. According to transfer journalist Graham Bailey, Arsenal could make a move for Barcelona and Brazil international winger Raphinha in 2026. Bailey has claimed that Arsenal want to sign a left sides, I think they mean sided forward next year, with the futures of Martinelli and Trossard far from certain. Smash the like button if you have not done such already. And even on that, almost forgot, people. We got to make this subscriber only, man. We got to keep it only the family over here, people. If you're not part of this DG Nation and the road to 100k subs, it sounds mad to say. I never thought we'd be there. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, people, we're going to get linked with the same names, the Raphinhas, the Leaos, the Malik Fofanas, the Rodrigos, the Raphinhas, and insert any name here. Probably Nico Williams in a couple of weeks, people. While tipping Rodrigo to be back on Arsenal's radar, despite the Real Madrid winger publicly saying he does not want to leave the Santiago Bernabeu, the transfer expert has name-checked Raphinha as a player to keep an eye on. We know Raphinha's been at Barcelona since 2022. He joined from Leeds. Specifically, what have you said? Last season, he got 34 goals and 26 assists in 57 games, which is quite good. I still think Arsenal will in 2026. I think they'll sign a new left winger. I do, obviously. Rodrigo is someone we looked at before, and I think Rodrigo is going to be on the radar again. But by the same token, I think we'll probably talk about Nico Williams again. We'll probably talk about Raphinha again. We'll probably talk about Anton Semenyo. Of those names, Which one are you lot having? There's no one better than him in the Premier League at the moment. Could you see Semenyo on the left in an Arsenal team? I could. And we know Edu failed to get Raphinha. Fair enough. People think we went in too deep about Raphinha because Raphinha was everywhere. That's what Edu apparently said in 2022. It's fair. We did have some conversations with Deco because Deco is his agent at the time, and I have a good relationship with him. We are friends. I said to Deco, "Can you explain to me the situation with Raphinha?" And he was clear. Edu, we have a good relationship, but I'm not going to lie to you. His idea is to go to Barcelona because he's dreaming to go to Barcelona. We've been talking to Barcelona since a long time ago, and yeah, he said, "Thank you very much." I mean, this is why I like Berta. Berta's just getting things done. You're doing a whole lot of explaining. We have heard previously Timbers in talks about signing a new deal at Arsenal and improved terms, and apparently that's moving in the right direction. But at this point, until you see something of significance, dead. So Raz is saying Raphinha's the best option. Manny's saying smash the like button. Sources have indicated in relation to Timber that communication between Arsenal and Timbers reps remain positive, although an agreement has not yet been finalised. Both parties are aligned on their desire to continue their journey together, and optimism remains that a deal will be reached soon. Since returning to full fitness, Timber's influence has extended beyond his performances. Those inside the club view him as a leader in training and a calming voice in defence, often guiding younger players through Arteta's demanding system. His professionalism and attitude have set the tone of what the North Londoners expect from senior players. Arteta has repeatedly praised Timber's footballing intelligence and positional awareness, seeing him as a vital part of the club's evolution. His composure under pressure, ability to read the game and position in build-up play have made him one of the Premier League's most reliable defenders when fit. With Arsenal challenging on multiple fronts once again, securing Timber's long-term future is a priority. The new deal would underline the club's faith in his experience, versatility and leadership, and signal the Gunners intend to keep their core players together as they continue to compete at the highest level. Don't think anybody can disagree with that, people. Moving away from this, should Arsenal have signed Atletico Madrid star Julian Alvarez over Gyökeres during the summer? I think he's holding out for Barcelona, but do you not think Julian Alvarez would have worked a lot better than Gyökeres? Arsenal will host Atletico Madrid in the Champions League on Tuesday, with Mikel Arteta's side facing an early test of their European credentials. The Gunners have also seen off Athletic Club and Olympiacos this season, but the visit of Diego Simeone and his troops will be their sternest challenge yet, particularly with the Spanish Giants clicking into gear after a slow beginning to the season. It will also see Arsenal's formidable defence try to keep someone who could have been a teammate of theirs quiet. To be fair, Julian Alvarez, I think he got 6 goals in 9 in La Liga. And I actually think, I said this on a previous stream, when you think of Atletico and Arsenal, 2 great defensive sides, Simeone, Arteta, Stinkfest, I think you're more likely to see, like, if the game ended as a draw, I think you're more likely to see it be 2-2 than 0-0. Because Atletico, they're still good defensively. But if anything, Simeone's put the handbrake down. They're scoring a lot of goals. They look a bit frail defensively. I think they've only got 2 clean sheets at this moment in time in their domestic league. So it all depends, people. Julian Alvarez is loving life again in Madrid, but he could have swapped the capital of Spain for that of England early this year. I mean, he's around all his Argentinians. He's at big club in Atletico, and he's a key part. The weather in Spain is more akin to Argentina than England. Not really making sense, man. Alvarez was one of several strikers tentatively linked with a move to Arsenal during the first half of 2025, with Arteta eventually settling on Gyökeres as his new number 9, even despite their early success. Oh, apologies. Early season success. Some Gunner fans aren't totally convinced by the Swede and are wondering how much better they could be doing with a different forward up top. I must admit, I do wonder that with Hugo Ekitike, but we're back in Gyökeres all the way, man. He's back in today. Arsenal supporters have been crying out for a new 9 since forever. When you grow up on a diet of Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp, how can you expect to be satisfied by the helpings of Giroud and Lacazette? Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's successful one-man mission to win the 2020 FA Cup was pretty much the last time Arsenal striker was one of the most feared in the land. Gabriel Jesus did have a period where he looked like the second coming of Pele upon arrival in 2022, but he hasn't been the same since suffering a knee injury at that year's World Cup and is currently working his way back from an ACL tear. When they need a centre-forward to carry the scoring load in the second half of 2023-24, Arsenal turned to Havertz, who was very openly signed as a midfielder, though whose versatility was seen as a massive plus point when paying Chelsea 65 million and immediately making him one of the club's highest earners. The German international has played well as a lone striker, though has rarely looked like one you could win the Premier League with. Arsenal's over-reliance on Havertz and Saka to provide goals and assists also led Arteta down the path of adding firepower to his squad. That was before you even factored in how stale their attack looked during an injury-blighted 2024-25 campaign. To be fair, pick him up. we know what we spent generally. We know what we spent on Gyökeres. We know Andrea Berto balked at the demands of Sesko's reps and Leipzig, and obviously the Athletic told us Sesko was essentially scared of competing with Kai Havertz, and this effectively killed the hope of Arsenal agreeing a deal. Sporting, meanwhile, was still tough negotiators, as we know. They tried to get Gyökeres to go to Man United. It did not bang. And you probably would have thought Gyökeres would have went United and Sesko would have went Arsenal. Funny how it all worked out. We back Gyökeres all the way. He's got early teething problems, so it is what it is. I don't know if you lot have been living under a rock, but Arteta did say, I told Gyökeres before the first meeting, I said the 9 that I want is a 9. When he doesn't score for 6 or 8 games, he can handle that. If not, you have to go somewhere else because the expectation is going to be there. So if you put on a 9 shirt for Arsenal, you have to be able to say, okay, 6 games. If I don't score, I'm a different player. I start to act in a different way. No, I want much more of the same of what I've been doing. And then after Fulham, he said he was very close today again, 2 or 3 times. We're all begging for him to score. The work rate he puts in for the team is phenomenal. So we tried to give him support and love. Smash the like button. Give the DG Nation some love. Where have I gone? And it will come. He looks at it and it doesn't move. He was on screen like this and he just said, it's fine. That's him. There's no emotion. He just has a single targeted mindset. That's what I love about him. I mean, Gyökeres, you did everything to sign for this club. Apparently, Arsenal and Chelsea are among the clubs to have set sights on Tottenham Hotspur's summer target, Nico Paz. Doing quite well under Cesc Fabregas at Como. He's clearly going to go back to Real Madrid, but fair enough. Apparently, he turned down Tottenham people. He joined from Real Madrid in August 2024, has 6 goals and 9 assists last season. He's already got 4 and 4 in 7 this season, people. Mundo report the Argentina international's impressive performances for Como have seen other clubs take notice. From the Premier League, Arsenal and Chelsea are in the mix to sign him. Juventus and Inter Milan are also named as suitors. The Premier League duo and others have to be wary of Real Madrid. Pardon me. The report, states Los Blancos have a buyback option of 8 million euros valid for next summer. They also retain a high sell-on clause. If Real Madrid doesn't make this signing next summer, they could regret it greatly in the coming years. It remains to be seen how the pieces fit together with Franco, Musitano, Arda Güler, Jude Bellingham, Diaz, or Rodrigo. Perhaps a sell is necessary. Arsenal, Chelsea, and others can only hope Real Madrid don't make advantage to sign Paz, people. We're going to go over that later today, and this is all preparation for obviously the watch along later. Zuma Mendy's giving an interview. I want to see exactly what he said. With this weather, you must feel a little at home. He said, yes, a little. Does it rain in his part of Spain? How are London and Arsenal welcoming you? Good. In sports, I can't complain. In the end, I'm having minutes in a great team which aspires to everything. So for that part, happy. And in personal life, very calm. Not as similar as being at home because I had my friends and family there. But the life of a footballer is very similar in terms of games, trips, training, breaks. So good. Did you come to London alone? Yes. But in quotes last, everyone wants to visit me. So I'm very grateful for helping me to change. At the start of the season in the mixed zone, you declared you wanted to be outside your comfort zone. The truth is that better than I expected. He catches me at slightly more mature age of 26. I think I'm taking it very calmly and naturally. It was also a personal demonstration that I could also leave the house, that I could live and experience personally in a new culture. I'm finding what I was looking for, although I think it's early days. Yes, and to grow in more areas. In the end, I can find different things, different cultures, different teammates, other football too. I think I'm in it, adapting to everything and getting to know new things. Nico Paz is so cold. I'd love it if we got him or Arda Güler one day in the future. Facts. I suspect Arsenal would not pay Sesko's fees. Remember, it was reported City would never do business with us again the season after Jesus and Zinni, which is dark, man. Dark, really. Taking it a bit far. Why can't you work with us, man? We're some of your good clubs. We should have. For me, I think it's a shame that we didn't buy Cole Palmer and we didn't get Julian Alvarez, but it is what it is. Has the adaptation been easier in a Spanish Arsenal full of Spanish players? Of course, players and staff too. I try not to hang out with them too much, fair enough, and speak a little English, but it's inevitable. The language helps and they're good friends now. How good are you with English? Good. I'm teaching. I think they mean learning. But hey, I don't look comfortable doing interviews yet. And then he said, I don't know what it feels like. Once I decided to leave Real, Arsenal was a team that, from what I've seen, suited me well for the game. Above all, I wanted a very detailed coach too. And in Mikel Arteta, as soon as I spoke with him, I found him. There was at Arsenal a very young team with a lot of passion, very close with a desire to win. And although they have not been able to do so, that makes them even more eager. He bigged up Jabi Alonso. And yeah, he was linked with Real Madrid. I don't know. We're talking about very big clubs. To say Real Madrid was missing a piece like me is saying a lot because all the players they have are spectacular. And at Arsenal, some of more of the same. The ones who was here in my position for me is also one of the best in his position. More than anything, the club decided it needed a change, and that's what I'm doing, trying to improve the team. Fair enough, lad. That's all you can hope for, really. Arteta praised his adaptation. I think that choice I made regarding Arsenal comes hand in hand with this adaptation. I thought a lot about which teams was the best for me, and by style of play, it was Arsenal. But I also have to thank them because they've given me the space, the confidence, and the minutes, which is where I can feel best. When speaking about an evolution, he said, yes, we are very mobile midfield. At the base, we can play with one or two midfielders. I can start to gain height. That's where Arteta influences me a lot in being able to make that last pass and play near the rival area to be decisive. So contributing in the final third. And then they're speaking about his goal scoring exploits. Everyone makes their own way. But yes, obviously, Rodri is an example as a midfielder. Currently, it is everyone's reference. Each one has to make their own path. But it's clear that reaching the levels that he has reached, a priority seems unattainable, but that's what we have to aspire to do. Speaking about the Champions League, he said, yes, the sensations are ideal. We are very compact, very hard-working team, which has been seen, does not concede many goals from there. We have a long season, but it's good that we have this streak at the start, which gives us a lot of confidence of what is to come. And then finally, he said, I'm not really feeling it. Nobody here talks about obligations or having to earn anything. This is going to be the reward for the work we do during the season. And the more pressure I see people looking forward to it, they know what it's like to not achieve the goal. More than pressure, it's motivation. Don't think anyone disagrees with that. Do you not agree with this from Gary O'Neill? He, obviously Arteta, has built almost a complete machine. This Arsenal team can do everything. We're getting kind of complete. We're doing our thing. But there's a lot to come. Diego Simeone sends vow to Arsenal with true feelings on Arteta. Do you know what? Yeah, I can't find it, but apparently Mikel Arteta in 2017 said, one day I'll be at Atletico Madrid. Food for thought. He's promised to inflict damage on Arsenal's Champions League campaign. Shout out, man. What, you lot crying about not having hot water? Ooh, scary. Scary. They've been with Arteta for 5 or 6 years with a clear identity that they won't compromise on. On the contrary, they're improving, bringing in great players for the positions where they are. They continue to grow with the same idea. They compete in every Premier League until the end with merits that weren't always there, but they clearly reflect their identity. Seems like the people that work in football, not the fucking Jamie O'Hara's of this world, quite complimentary of Arsenal, which I think is true. We have to take the game to where we believe we can do damage. It's a wonderful stadium with a driving crowd and a surely high pace. And then he said, I can see great ball strikers, tall players, and very good headers. The number of goals they score like this is unusual. They work very carefully. It's a huge strength. We won many games that way in 2014, and it's an option they have too. Alvarez has said, Julian Alvarez, we can take on and beat any team. We have a great squad. We didn't get off to a great start. We had injuries, but the team improved, and now we're in great shape to compete. In England, teams have more transitions, faster wingers, but there are many similarities. Arsenal is a great team. They like to have possession and are strong from set pieces, but we, with our strengths, can hurt them. Bring it on, man. This is what we're here for, people. Okay, no clue why that's there. Arsenal's defense in the last 3 Champions League campaigns, 18 goals conceded in 26 games. So we're going to have to see what that brings. I've got Czar at 4 p.m, people. We're going to have a quick stream where I'll ask him about how he feels about the clash and the Premier League and all of that kind of stuff. And then obviously it's the big one, people. It's the big one. I don't know why this person's gassing up Athletic, but we've got watch-along business as well. So yeah, man, work, people. And this needs to be done. Again, 213 games we've participated in Champions League and not won it. It needs to end one day, man. Enchanted Lens, where you been? Arsenal versus Atletico. Harambu versus Harambu. Gonna put me in a coma. Trust. Damn. I knew he would bang as soon as he got game time. Man said Pep deserves jail time for sitting on Alvarez for so long. When you've got Haaland, that's gonna happen. It's like with Isaac and Hugo Ekitike. It's like one's just been bought for more money. There's more profile to him. He's going to start, and it'd be interesting with Liverpool, Hugo Ekitike and Isaac, because I think people are forcing too much, but can they coexist for 3, 4, 5 years? Because on one hand, it's a big club. It always happens. There's a lot of games, rotation, injuries, all these things are part of it. But there might be times Hugo Ekitike is the star striker and Isaac's on the bench, or Isaac's out on the left and Hugo's playing through the middle and vice versa. In game, it could be scary. And going back to the other thing, I want Semenyo, man. Man said, work. DG sounds like Rihanna. Wish I had a girl that looked like her still. I want Gyökeres to bang. Expect it soon. I want to see Arsenal scout better, though. Newcastle got Isaac, and now that new kid looks great. Walt made looking like one of the signings of the season so far, especially of the strikers. Like I would say, Woutmaid and Ikatike, off the top of my head, they look like the best forwards at this moment in time. I would include Brentford's Igor Jesus because he had an ACL, so he never really got the same. But Woutmaid's getting on like a house on fire. Hugo Ekitike is doing his thing. There's still question marks over Gyökeres, although for a lot of fan bases that are buying Gyökeres, and even with all the question marks, he'd be your top goal scorer statistically. You know, Gyökeres hasn't exactly convinced the footballing world, much less Arsenal fans. Sesko the same. Leon Delap's injured, but you could throw him into that. Who else is there? There's probably a striker I'm missing out. Let's run up the likes. Michael, appreciate your consistent support, man. You're always watching the videos. You're always commenting. You're always telling people to press the hype button, which I appreciate. He was playing Jesus and them man ahead of Alvarez. Mateta. Yeah, but Mateta weren't. I'm talking strikers that were signed, didn't it? Mateta's been there. Let that 213 games and nothing really sink in. Not a category to be first in. Yeah, man. We need to win something, man. We need to get the Prem and that over the line, but it's a travesty that we have. Do we have European heritage? No. Big up you lot that were there. George Graham beating Palmer and that. Like I weren't there in it. Champions League is filled with more pain than Europe. Atletico, Chelsea in the Europa League, Arsenal in the final, much less all the other bumps and bruises. We need that UCL soon. Facts, man. Can't lie, I want to see Calafiori left wing one time, fam. I mean, if Tierney could do it, why not? I don't know when you're going to get to see that, though, man. Even if you put Haaland in our system, he wouldn't get the numbers he has at City. We need to create for Gyökeres. We do. I still think Haaland will get an abnormal amount of numbers here, but we do need to create. But I do think when you look at the last 4 games, yeah, we're still not creating a lot, but we've stepped in the right direction. I kind of think on one hand you're right, but then on the other hand, that kind of excuse it's not really gonna flush for Gyökeres, if I'm honest. Strikers in the league this season have been bad. Yeah, if you're not Mateta, Woutmaid, Haaland, he ain't really done much. Danny Wells even. Woutmaid is the buying heir to Kane. You heard it here first. He's going to make Newcastle a shit amount of money. And they spent peas on him as well. I'd love it if we win the Prem, but the champs is the ultimate dream goal for me. Facts. I'm with you with that. To be fair, do you go Calafiori or Miles Lewis-Skelly today? Because a part of me wants to go Miles Lewis-Skelly because I need Calafiori for Crystal Palace. And a part of me says, you know what? Calafiori play both games, innit? All the strikers have been average. Only Woutmaid, Mateta, Haaland have done the business so far. Please, Arsenal fans, if we lose this game, don't have a meltdown. We don't need to win every single game in this league format. We just need to get top 8. We always want to win every game. But Ariel, you know damn well when we win, Arsenal fans are as high as a kite. When we lose, get everyone out, everyone shit, sack the gaffer. No matter how much you plead, you're not wrong. But no matter how much you plead, it's like you're preaching to the blind and the deaf. It's not going to happen. They're going to do that. Calafiori's knee is on 1 HP. I'm shook. Tranquillo. MLS then bring on Hincapié. Hincapié should be on the bench today. Ryan, let's beat Atletico. I want to win. In an ideal world, I don't care about the scoreline, all that jazz. You win today, get the 3 points today. Zubamendi and Rice, get your yellow cards. Slavia Prague. I mean, if there's no Rice and Zubamendi, who the hell plays midfield against Slavia Prague? You might just have to. It'd be nice if Odegaard and Kai miraculously are fit, but you might have to just do Norgard and Marino, maybe even. I know we're not, but start in midfield for Miles Lewis-Skelly, only because you're back for Bayern, innit? I need to see our two midfielders take yellows, man. I can't not have you against Bayern Munich. Gyökeres will bang. Arsenal could have went in for Isak or Osimhen, who I highly rate. They didn't. When Gyökeres hits 20, that was the inexpensive option and classic when Arsenal buying a striker. For me, with Gyökeres, I've just accepted you're going to be, I think you're going to bang, but you're not going to be that higher echelon of a forward. You obviously have deficiencies, but I back you because of your mentality, what you've shown prior to joining Arsenal, and I don't think you've feeling sorry for yourself. I do think that you're not levels like that. If we're going into next season with this, I want a new striker. I must admit, of all the strikers at other clubs, a part of me thinks Hugo would have been the one for us. But when I accept that, like I don't give up on Gyökeres. Like I think there's a player in Gyökeres. I think there is, man. Gyökeres should be in the WWE. He ain't no footballer. To be fair, Gyökeres is actually trying to play football. It's everybody else joining him out. If I'm the only thing I want to see with Gyökeres is be a bit meaner. Just watch Alan Shearer and Diego Costa for their antics. That's all I want. If I'm honest, I think if we can get 15, 20 goals from Gyökeres, or if it's a thing where, and this is why I wanted the left winger, because if you had Saka and a Semenyo and you lot are getting mad numbers, and Gyökeres is chipping in, Martinelli and Trossard's chipping in, set pieces, and whoever wants to pull in the back of the net, do whatever, we're maneuvering. Because I actually think, obviously, I think if you ask Arteta or any manager, yeah, obviously you want double figures from right wing, double figures from left wing, double figures from up front. But I think for him, his wingers are the ones that he wants as their goal getters, they're as like the inevitable match winners. And then your striker, if you can get a decent amount of goals, great. But I don't think he's really expecting you to be the top goal scorer type of thing. And you see that in the modern day anyways, even for the strikers that are bagging, it's the wide men in today's day and age that get the joy. The strikers got to drop deep, then you got to get in the box, then you got to fight with centre halves, you're playing mid and low blocks, you're kind of feeding off scraps. That's the kind of thing. And if being a clinical striker was what Arteta wants, and I know I'm being a bit, lazy, but you don't see Marino play up front. You don't see Kai play up front. You don't sign Jesus and play him up front. You don't even give Eddie Nketiah his little run. You don't even rely on Lacazette. You do sign Gyökeres. And that's, I think we need to create a lot more, because one thing I liked is Gyökeres wasn't the striker I thought Arteta wanted on paper, and he's 27. What you see is what you get. Is his first touch horrible? Yeah, but I don't even care about that. I'm not looking at you to be a pretty footballer. We got plenty of them. Put the ball in the back of the net. He's not going to change. And at 27, fundamentals are not going to change. If you're not aesthetically pleasing now, you're never going to be. Gyökeres puts the ball in back of the net. No one cares. And I like his mentality. You've been doubted your whole life. You read his articles. Man said in this country you weren't going to make it. You went Brighton. They didn't really believe your thing. People were asking questions when you went Coventry. When you went Coventry, you only done it in the Championship. You've done it in the Champions League and in Portugal. It's only Portuguese league. Come Arsenal, you're struggling. So I think you're comfortable to deal with that, because if anything, you're getting better and better in terms of I'm seeing you a lot more in game. But you need goals, and strikers are funny. And when you've not scored in 6, it's a bit weird, because then by the same token, like if he scores today against Atletico, which I don't think you are, I think it's one where you're just gonna have to work hard. I think you go on a little run, if I'm honest. And that's what I want to see, because at the end of the day, nothing's decided yet. But for me, there's been a lot of hyper opinions about Arsenal, innit? Like pre-season, there was a lot done, even with Gyökeres. Early start of the season, Arteta's a coward because of Liverpool and City. With the media darlings to a degree now, like Opta and super computers are having us as winning the league. Arteta is doing his thing. We're starting to play attacking football. I still think we're moving in the right direction in terms of chances created in open play and all these things. Obviously, it needs to go levels, but the signs are positive. We're playing people in the right positions. We're starting the right team. The game management so far from Arteta in these last 4 games, I'm here for it. Obviously, the set pieces and the defending is there. There's little things we can improve. We can create and convert a lot more. And I think in the last 4 games, converting is the big one. Killing games like Newcastle. I still think, even though we're a good defensive side, still think there's been 1 or 2 moments, like we didn't concede against Fulham, but we was moving a bit shaky initially to kind of like shake out of our system. Obviously, we've still got players adapting. We've still got players to come back. As I just said, like 30 minutes ago or something of that, if the season ended tomorrow and I ask you for your players of the season, we're going to sit here and maybe say Timber, this one, that. You're going to focus more on the defensive ranks. None of the attackers are really fit and going. So if we can get Gyökeres going, if Saka's looking like he's getting in motion, Havertz when he comes back, Marino if he goes up front, Kala, to be fair, Kala, you're involved in all units. You're not a defender, a midfielder, or attacker. You're just everything. You get where I'm going. Might be able to do all right. I'm waiting on Jesus, man. I need to see Jesus left wing. I'll be real, man. I need to just see it once, man. I need to, people. I genuinely not want to, man. I'm dying for it, if I'm completely honest. Big up yourself, Kaya, man. Loving the energy. You're loving the support you lot provide, man. Without you lot, it's dead. Kyler Fury is just an enigma. And you know what, yeah, big up you lot, but YouTube is annoying, yeah, because you know what, I'll make the YouTube shorts, make sure you're following all the socials, have a bit of fun. Now, I don't understand Calafiori. Vast majority of you laugh with me. There's some done in the comments like, you don't understand football, that's why you don't understand Calafiori. Oh, wow, you really? He's a centre-half who plays left-back for us, that is in charge of being an inverted fullback, and obviously has qualities to contribute in the defensive, midfield, and final third, and clearly Arteta promotes that wildness from him. That's so hard to understand. Crazy works, innit? And then someone's like, it's not for you to understand. You're not the manager. Like, fucking hell. Yeah, some of you lot are some sorry sacks of shit. And like some boring ass cunts, innit? Like, but that's the internet though, man. I think with Gyökeres, the service is an issue. Yeah, I need some more clear-cut chances. Until I see him missing clear-cut chances, then I'm like, oof. And to be honest, out of all the games he's played, the Fulham thing is the one where he's kind of been the deadest. West Ham, nothing to really scream and shout, but he put himself about. And actually, I think Gyökeres is catching more heat than Eze. I think Eze was worse than him against Fulham. I need both of them. I need Eze to get to full form. But if I'm saying this, the only way is up in it, really, because that's the next step. We need players to get into them little purple patches of form. We've been exposed to it. Mascara had his little time when he was in the side. Timber, it's not purple patch, but Timber's in a good moment. Trossard and Martinelli, to a degree, have been in a good moment. I think Saka is moving. Like, based on that, I'm not going to lie, that past the 20-minute period to the end of the game, Saka against Fulham, unfortunately, Madueke was in a good moment, and then it stopped-started because of the injury. Yeah, man, we could create a lot more. But I do think the more the season's kind of gone on, the less it's like, the more it's a Gyökeres thing, if I'm honest with you. I think with Gyökeres, the service is an issue right now, but also feel like his timing is off. His reactions are a bit slower than the average footballer. I wonder if anyone else agrees. 100%, but I expect all of that because I never looked at you like you're Haaland or Isaac or whatever, and it is a culture shock. You are coming to the Premier League. All our new signings, bro, things in other leagues, you might have had 2 touches. Boom, they're on you. And yeah, the manager's probably told you about that. I'm sure he's probably spoken to his Swedish teammates and his teammates about that. Obviously, I'm sure he watches the Premier League. He's probably known about that already. But once you're playing, and then also, I think the gift and the curse with Gyökeres is that you've had to play all these games. Like, I'm a hypocrite because obviously I would have been frustrated. I know what time it is. If Kai Havertz was fully fit this season, it's a slower kind of integration for Gyökeres, which maybe he could have come off the bench against tired legs and bagged. But he's, a positive is that he's just been playing, and whether you've done well or not, you're getting more experience, you're getting to know your teammates and things. But the byproduct of that is you have been playing catch up in terms of preseason. You are adapting to a new team, which I think you've adapted to what's demanded of you individually and collectively, but you are learning. You're just having to just play your way into form type of thing, really. But Arteta's clearly got some level of confidence in you because he could easily, and you know what? I reckon Merino starts today. I more think he will start in the Odegaard role than up front. But he could easily just, Merino, you're getting slapped up there. Gyökeres, hold that. DG, is there an issue with Arsenal scouting? Gyökeres buried Leeds and the pass from Eze. We aren't getting Gyökeres that service. No, but I hear you. But go and look at the space in that game, though. They sat off Calafiori, assuming that was Nottingham Forest. Sorry, the Nottingham Forest one. They sat off him. They sat off Calafiori, sat off Eze, setting up Gyökeres. I need more of those chances against Leeds. I expect you to do that, but Leeds, their shape was poor, and it was a good goal from his perspective. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get that, and it's not an excuse because regardless, that would have been said for any striker that is going to sign for us or in the Prem, but. You're bucking Fulham. You know that's a mid and low block. They killed getting us into midfield. The same against Bilbao. The same against United with Amorim. The same against Liverpool, actually. City to a degree as well. And to be fair, once the handbrake came off, City, of all the bigger games and the weird games, Gyökeres could have probably bagged in that if we set things for him. Being a striker is a selfless job, bro. You're not gonna get that many goals here, unless we had a Haaland or an Isaac. Anything else is what it is. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss streams or uploads. Who is it that used to poke man with a needle? Damn, who's doing that? So the only attackers we will have on the bench is one of Martinelli, Trossard, probably Havertz, and even. Surely not. I hope not. Dalman's not going to be there. We just watched him play. Big up Jerome in the cut. I like how we're winning and playing, but I want us to be really wavy this season. Do all the time wasting and dark arts. Turn off the away team showers. Do all, like Jose said, be a cunt. I hear it. Yeah? Nice guys finished last, man. So we need to adapt to that. Just need an upgrade left wing. We do. And then even that, yeah, obviously I might be clutching at stores and things. But when you look at the data, and this is not me saying like we're going to just do a madness, but it's 8 games. There's 38 games left. When it's all said and done, not a single team's clicking. Obviously, some teams are in more of a positive moment than others. But, you know, you look at our general play can still go to the next level. Unpopular opinion, defensively, it can still go up to a next level. Individually, more so our players in the midfield and the final third, they're still gelling and things like that. Liverpool, the same. I know it's a different kind of thing because they've lost 4 games, but they're still gelling. City, the same. Chelsea, the same. Everybody. So the only way is kind of up. And on that topic, when you look at all of those metrics, Gyökeres is taking more shots now. Like, Gyökeres is still technically our top goal scorer, which is probably damning on us. He's still taking a lot of shots. So hopefully all of these things happen. And facts, we need an upgrade left wing. That's the only criticism of Berto for me. Like, not even criticism, it's just I think we missed the trick. Because I think there's bare man that can play left wing, and obviously we've got good options, got a good squad, and I'm happy with the summer. But I think once we get that left winger, it's next level business, man. Like if you grab me a Semenyo, well, I don't really care at this moment. Just Semenyo, Rodrigo, random Joe blogs that they've scouted, because there's players there. You get where I'm going. But yes, Semenyo would be delicious for our football team, man. Only chances Gyökeres should 100% put on target was that one on the left against Fulham. Linz, that was dead from Gyökeres. You're right, still. That was dead. The one against Fulham and the one against Leeds where Zubi got him one-on-one with the keeper. True. Overall, I like that this Arsenal team looks meaner. And for me, yeah, we're meaner. And I don't want to say maturity, because when it's all, people can laugh at us, but the last 3 years now, so this year, last year, the year before, not the first year we fought for the title, there's been that level of maturity. But I feel for me, as much as we all want 3, 4, 5 goals, blistering football, smoked in the first half, it's not always like that. I think we're boxing smart. I think there was not so much, because I think we were just bloody superb against Newcastle, but there was elements of that against Newcastle. I definitely feel that way against West Ham. I definitely feel that against Olympiacos. I definitely feel that against Fulham. I might be missing one game out, but the maturity that the gaffer as well, to be fair. But at the end of the day, the players are out there. Like the Fulham game, okay, first 20 minutes, we're moving a bit mad, lads. Passes are a bit dead. Man, them, relax. Let's pattern up. Let's move the ball. All right, we got a set piece, yeah? 3 points. Let's go home, man. Big up the chat, man. I can't wait to see Hincapi for a full 90. Looks like an animal. I think we're going to have to be patient, man, for that. First start surely comes against, again, you could caveat that with Brighton and it's the cup and that, but surely Brighton is the only time I see for that, if I'm honest. Regarding stupid comments on your YouTube Shorts vids, as the saying goes, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got, hey, man, people can say what they want. You're commenting. You're helping the algorithm. I don't even care if people slag me off. Like, I'm at that point now. I look at this like I'm a footballer. You think I'm shit? Great. You want to say hurtful comments? Amazing. Love for the love. Appreciate the hate. I'm important enough for you to comment on. Because most people that don't like something, they're just going to keep it moving. They're going to look at their screen and be like, yeah, this guy's fucking cunt. Shh. You go watch porn or something. Not my man, though. Like, or whatever. So, yeah. He's fighting centre-backs for 90 minutes every 4 days. It's a lot. It is true, and it's right. And my heart bleeds for Gyökeres. But at the same time, Arteta, Gyökeres, the man knew that was going to be the case. Arteta, Berto, whether you rocked up with Sesko, Isak, which we obviously got Gyökeres, Joe Blogs, the man knew that was going to be the case for our striker. So what happened? Kai can teach Gyökeres how to score. I hope so. But I must admit, yeah, I do think obviously Gyökeres is getting attacked by all quarters of the media and Arsenal fans. And there's just some Arsenal fans that can't get over the fact that you was never getting Isak. We never got Hugo. You know, you wanted to suck off Sesko. Sesko's not joining us. Just get it going. We've got Gyökeres. And I'm not saying you can't comment on concerns, because we're not idiots. We've given Gyökeres his flowers today, actually, and in general, where we can, and the concerns, right? But then at the same time, Gyökeres has been here since what, August, right? Give or take. Well, you know what I mean? He's been here for a couple of months. What was Kai Havertz doing? Because it feels like there's more there was more like a leash given to Kai than Gyökeres. Why is that? And man, we're just praising man for working hard. Just support the boys, man. Huge fan. Love it when our team is not scoring. Cala blasted shots on goal 30 yards outside the box. Calafiori scored one of the best goals, best disallowed goals we've seen in a minute. I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. I want Arsenal to become absolute arseholes on the pitch. They already don't like you. Give them a reason not to. I hear it. If you have an opinion about anything on the internet, some will take it personal. Hey, man, they can do what they want. Is what it is. Look at SLD. This DG guy's waffling. He doesn't understand football. Fair play. Fair play, lad. Just grab 2 singles ready to bill it when we kick off. Don't know what billing it is, but bill it for me. Kai can score or assist every 2 games. Gyökeres can't DG. Listen, Kai Havertz plays for Arsenal Football Club. I'm back, Kai. Like, they're going to have to help each other. There's room to coexist. And really and truly, can he? Because a lot of people are disingenuous. How many tap-ins did Kai miss? And it's almost like Kai's obviously a key player. I think, as I've said, Kai's like a unicorn. I don't think we should have bought him. I don't think we should have spent the peas on him. I don't think we should have put him on these wages. But we're here. There's a use for him. And he's definitely a better player for us across the course of a season than some people have given him credit for. That's for the more negative ones. But there's these people that have Kai as this mythical unicorn. And it seems to be when my man's not in the team as well, that they make out he's going to take us to another level. Where for me, if somebody, I'm not gonna lie, if there was the next Isaac out there, Kai, Gyökeres, boy, you lot owed that, forward that one in January. Because I'm giving Gyökeres all the time positive criticism week in, week out. If we get to the end of the season and we're still saying this, Gyökeres, you're part of the squad, but new striker now. And obviously, yeah, Gyökeres does get doubled up against. He allows the wingers, but that's what we want. Why do you think I keep saying a striker in an Arteta system is a sacrificial lamb? So yeah, man, is what it is. DG saying those man then watch corn and anime. I hear it. Kai stepped up when Jesus was garbage. People forget that 16 win run was due to Kai. People bash Kai for his Chelsea stint. People just don't like Kai. For me, as I keep saying, all of these players are tools in the toolbox. Siege mentality, F the outside noise. They are never real and it's always agendas. So disrespectfully, fuck their opinions, positive or negative. Outside voices from rivals hold no weights. But again, Arsenal fans always bite. They always bite it. Like, where is it? Bro, you got fucking Jamie O'Hara chatting shit all the time, the fat prick. He always saying Arsenal, boring Arsenal have killed the Prem. I don't mind because it means we're relevant. And again, if you can get at my team for set pieces and long throws, but we're one team of 20, right? If everybody's doing that after we was doing it, I think when you remove your agendas, and actually people don't give Brentford and Bournemouth way before it became cool at Arsenal their flowers for this. Naturally, you learn from people. You think these coaches, like Pep says, I'm an idea thief, man. You think, man, I'm not learning. But this is what happens when you're agenda driven and you don't love the purest level of football. But cool, let's assume that if Arsenal jump off a bridge, if I go jump off a bridge, if there's 20 of us, I know it's a crazy one, but if I go jump off a bridge, yeah, there's 20 of us. If I go jump off a bridge and you lot follow me, have I ruined you lot's lives or did you lot follow me? So everyone's following. It's the same bullshit when people say Pep's ruined football. Has Pep ruined football or everybody copied his thing? It don't make sense. It sounds great. It gets you clicks. But until we learn to ignore people like this, which they don't believe half the things they're saying, we're not going to get anywhere. But, boy, you're right, DG. Those boys look seasoned now. They know what they're doing. Before the team and the manager were very naive. Most teams are very well organized these days, especially against us. Exactly. But we're the only team that defends. We've seen this before in a sense. The times we were close to winning the league, it's in our hands. We let it slip. We can't be complacent. There's nothing to be complacent about. Last time I checked, these boys and the manager, you ain't won nothing or done nothing in it. So keep going, bro. Like we're going to stumble, and this is where it's going to be emotional. Like we are going to lose games. The table is going to rotate. We're not going to be at the top forever. And even if that's the case, there's been times we've been top for 200 days. And then what happened? There's times we haven't necessarily, and we ran it to the last day of the season. And what happened? Let's just control what we can control. Simple as that. Let's focus on what we can do better. Let's focus on what we're not good at. Take it to a level. If we win, don't get excited. If you lose, don't get excited. And just keep it moving. Keep it pushing. And seize the present. Because the last 4 years, there's been some highs. There's been lows, including this year. There's been highs. There's been lows. Now is the time to seize the present. It breaks my heart that, forget this season for a sec. The last 3 years, we haven't won anything. We haven't won Prems or a Champs or a League Cup, FA Cup here. These players are good enough. The gaffer's good enough, but you haven't done it. Only you lot can answer why. I can think of reasons and nitpick and nuances, but you haven't done it. Can't waffle about the past. Arteta, if you left today compared to when you walked in, mad thing. You've done well. The future, I don't know for that. We can't predict the future, but the best way to right the wrongs of the past and right the rights of the future is to in the present moment. And I'm being a bit disingenuous, but in Arsenal folklore, Rob Holding is more of a cult hero than Saliba and Gabriel and Timber and players significantly better than him. Why? Because when it's all said and done, what have these boys achieved that we ain't seen before? At least Holding. You say Rob Holding, people might be like, he was shit, but FA Cup stood up tall, him and Mertesacker. Big up Mertesacker. He's irrelevant from what I'm saying here because we can't disrespect the BFG. These players are bloody good enough. They deserve it, man. And I think the club owe it to the fans and the players, man, because big up you lot that done the signings thing in the summer, but you lot done us dirty last summer and last January. And I feel sorry for the players. I've said this before. These players, all of them, newfound respect for me last year. All of you that were here last year and here now, I can question out your ability. If you're good enough, I can't question out your character. Because anytime it was time to stand tall, especially in January when his injuries, show fucking big bollocks. Simple as that. So I respect you lot for that. These blood, sweat, and tears can't be in vain, man. We're a good team. The challenge is being a great team. Great teams win trophies. Great teams are not necessarily happy with bullshit. And what I mean by bullshit is not disingenuous, but for the last 3-4 years, bro, man, been seeing great statistics, set pieces, defending, more points than Invincibles, all these things. It reflects what I know, which is a good team. We don't want to be good. We want to be great. we want to go down in Arsenal folklore. We want to see 2026, you know, where they put the trophy thing at the Emirates. That's what we need now. Only Calla got subbed off of the back line in the last 2 games. You think we'll see one rotation in the back line today? You might. Some Arsenal fans want rotation. Me personally, I'm not on that. I think the strongest team needs to go out there. I think rotation can come against Slavia Prague and Brighton, if I'm honest. If I'm brutally honest. Need to win. Atletico Madrid, bro, obviously we got a squad anyone can play, but you're in for a rude awakening if you think this is some little man game. We're clearly hiring on characters, not only capabilities. I back the boys to overcome current difficulties. Only way is up, lads, inshallah. Tell them again, bro. Tell them again. And big up you lot, man. This guy knows what he's talking about, and we're here for it. Unfortunately, can't say the same about many on socials. We can't be watching the same thing. They'll be watching highlights, like Wenger said. I mean, everyone's allowed an opinion, innit? But as I keep saying, I'm saying this from a place of love. Arsenal fans, genuinely, yeah. If you man are getting, and even me, I'm a hypocrite, I just bit the bullet. But that I'm only doing that to show you, look, when I brought up the Jamie Carragher thing. If man are getting vexed about these kind of things, yeah, it's our fault now. Obviously, we want to stand up for the club. Obviously, well, for me, all the valid, like, talk about, like, we're not above criticism. Valid claims and things like that get onto us and praise us, but we know it's a disingenuous thing. Oh, they score from set pieces. How the fuck do you earn? Break it down. How do you earn it? How do you earn a set piece? How the fuck do you earn a set piece? We have to go from my end of the pitch or our end of the pitch down there, and then and then you look at how many touches. This is why actually chance creation and chance conversion we could do a lot better. We're actually up there in the Premier League for touches in the up box. Everyone talks about us defending, but then says we can't break down mid and low blocks. So everybody's fucking defending. Bearing in mind, these same people will say football's boring now. It's all micromanagers and overthinking. But it's one rule for them, it's the next for us. This is why we know these lot are chatting shit. We have to air it. But we're never going to, or fans are never going to do it because they know they're talking shit. They know they're chatting shit. It's just engagement. But when this is why I'm saying it's from a place of love. If we're getting vexed about these guys talking nonsense and wrong claims, because if you're on this platform, you like balanced chat. By all means, if we were shit defensively, tell us we're shit defensively. If we're good going forward, tell us we're good going forward. Don't be disingenuous. Hincapié is starting this game 100%. Bro, I think you're more likely to see Miles Lewis-Skelly because Hincapié's only played 6 minutes. He's been in and out the side. Arteta, you done me dirty because in the build-up to the Fulham game, you was gassing me in the press conference that, yeah, bro, Hincapie's going to be there, fam. Trust me. He made me think, yeah, fullback union. He weren't reaching. And so he's obviously participated in training. I think you're more likely to see Donny come off the bench, my boy. I wouldn't hold my breath. Stranger things have happened. I don't think a start's coming for Hincapie. I think you're more likely to see his name again, Miles Lewis-Skelly. And I've been having withdrawal symptoms not seeing that lad. He's a bloody good footballer, ain't he, mate? Like, we're gonna need that. So yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't care because I always say the one position I don't care about in a good way is left back. Cool, Calafiori and Hincapié, they can play centre half. You know, small hope Miles Lewis-Skelly being exposed in midfield, but like left back, I don't care. If it's Miles Lewis-Skelly, fucking mustard. If it's Calafiori, fucking mustard. If it's Hincapié, fucking mustard. I don't care like who's there. If I would is. Kai did nothing for 6 months in midfield. Then he was moved to false 9, which he's been doing for years with Chelsea. Of course, it suited him. We haven't had a proper 9 for 4 years. Let the team gel. Arsenal fans need to stop getting vexed about other people's opinions about us, especially when it's not even factual. They just try to rage bait us. Yeah, but Arsenal fans are emotional. Like, big up Egal. I love him to bits. But Egal's the best example, bro. You see him fighting the wars on social media all the time, bro. Like, we just need to tell him, you don't rate us, cool, suck him up. But you don't, for you lot's sake, make sure we don't win something. Because I'll make noise over the League Cup and the FA Cup. So you imagine what I'm on and what I'm going to demand of all of us to be on if a Premier League, or dare I say it, you can see it in front of me, a Champions League arrives. Pray, because it's going to be evil. Because you want to hate us and you've been drawing us out. And let's be honest, like some Arsenal fans do talk a lot of nonsense, but there is an element of pylons, like pylons. Anything Arsenal do is mad dead and this and that and the other. It's cool to hate on us. I don't care. We're not victims. We'll fight all of you lot. Fuck everybody. If you're not throwing up the A's, if you're not a corner boy, fuck all of you lot. But some of my fans are not seeing this, or they're seeing this, but they're moving emotional. Don't bite the bait. Hated adored, but never ignored. Word to our little brothers, Man United, who helped us. Obviously, dealt with Liverpool last weekend, didn't it? Kai went Super Saiyan last summer. Injuries, bad luck. Hope him and Gyökeres go off soon. Yeah, man. Gyökeres will score more goals. Be patient. Ikatike was the one on Marmoush. Marmoush, I'm more vexed about that. Obviously, City bought him, but I just feel that would have been... Obviously, he's an option up front, but imagine Gyökeres, Saka, Marmoush left wing. At least for this season, you might have a Jesus, a Eze, a Madueke, a Trossard, a Martinelli, a Marino if he goes up front, a Kai Havertz. Across the course of a season, to be able to mix and blend and do this, oof. We'll have 2 youngsters on the bench today, not including Dowman. Yeah, you can't have Marley Salmon either. Isaac ain't worth 125 mil. Sesko ain't worth 90 mil. I'm not going to lie, though. Obviously, if it's Football Manager, Sesko's worth the piece. I'd have been on spending 125 on Isaac. But I think if Isaac signed for us, maybe not to this extent, but it wouldn't be the Isaac definitely that we've seen move to us. Because, like, man never had no preseason. It was rubbed. I promise you, when we're firing, we're coming through like a steam engine. Just let the pressure build. When we get your face in a team from hell, Alvarez was the one we needed. But hey, Gyökeres will get there. Bro, he don't want to come back to England, in my opinion, man. That brother's holding out for Barca. Everyone saying Pep ruined the Prem seems to overlook how Klopp changed the trends. 2 athletic players in defense and midfield. Arteta's taking that to the next level. And even if it's, bro, these are the ruined stuff. It's just disingenuous bullshit, bro. Like, it's disingenuous bullshit. They must have said Wenger ruined football. Oh, you're bringing foreigners, and I know we're taking it to another level. It's an idiot thing, bro. It sounds great. It does sound great, but I always say I don't tell you what to think. Just think. Everyone's got the answers. The meaning of life is in the questions. But hey, who am I? I'm just someone trying to share on YouTube with you lot, man. Just block and mute anyone that chats ish about us on socials. I don't indulge in rage bait content. Yeah, Gal gets emotional. But I do think, big up a Gal, but he does egg it on socials though as well, man. Them man chat about our set pieces, but we only conceded 1 open play goal and it was a robot who scored it. Bro, what do they want? Even that, what would you like us to do? Like, what would you like us to do? Not be good from set pieces. Like, what would you want to do? What would you want us to do? Like, what would you want to do? That's what I would love to ask them. And in fact, my thing is, I don't care what you think, because I love it. I love it to the point where obviously I won't play from open play and all of this stuff. But a part of me, if you offered me 100 goals in the Premier League this season, open play, or 100 set pieces, I might be on the set pieces thing. I can't lie. I love it. Man, love this. I thrive of being hated. Like, I'm a nice guy, but I'm also a bastard. Like, I feel like there's a dark side of me, and I like my team like this. Like, why do you think I like, beyond the obvious, Bergkamp, Henry, Adams, Lauren, just random names? They were all good footballers, and they were nice people, and they'll help your granny across the road and give money to charity and, you know, all of those things. But they were bastards, bro. Alan Shearer as well. He was a bastard, bro. Nice guys finished last, cuz. Fuck that nice man shit now. We be good men. Fuck being nice. Let's just be cunts. I'll be unsufferable if we win the league. Demon mode commences when we win the Premier Champs. Bro, it's peak. He defo rage baits. But then you have to hold that when people are saluting. Every manager that does things differently ruins the game according to pundits. He's yeah. But then you're praising these things. Like, no one don't care. Like, inverted fullbacks now. Like, half the things that we love in today's day and age, someone had to do it. Like, oh, you're ruining the industry. Why are you inventing cars where we got horses? We got boats. Don't make planes. It sounds great, but it's rage bait. Half of these people that lead these bullshit claims, yeah, they don't believe it. And Jamie Carragher's sour, man. The way he said, you know what, Jamie Carragher, you're pushing some agendas on socials. And I would say this: if I was a Liverpool fan, I would have hated Gary Neville. You could hear him celebrating when United scored the winner. I do not get how we get knocked for our set piece success. It's a proper football way to score. Don't tell me that every team doesn't want to score with a corner. And if it was just this season, great. But what's it been about 3 years? You lot can't stop it. We keep innovating. And we might not be the most imaginable team and all of that, but let's not act like we don't play good football. And it's only going to get better. DG invented the inverted left-back role. Off the pitch, nice. On the pitch, not nice. Simple as that. Arteta used to poke man in the eyes. Yeah, Arteta was a bit unsufferable, but I need more. And that's why I like Lewis Kelly. He's a little shithouse. Calafiori shithouser, Miles Lewis Kelly shithouser. Nobody really, Gabriel Magalhaes, nobody really talks about Timber, Timber, he's on that. Kai Havertz defo on that. Gyökeres, I need you to be on that. Saka's starting to become nasty. I think the good guy's gone bad now type of thing. Like, he's on it, man. I'm just aware of the time though, folks, man, because I know I'm meant to be live with Zar. Is he awake? I might be holding him, people. Sorry, my boy. I'm coming now. We overran. So yeah, I'm going live with Zar. Literally nice. A quick turnover thing. We'll run over with Zara. I need you lot there. Ask me some questions. Ask some questions. All those kind of things. We'll probably do like 45 minutes, an hour. And then obviously 7 p.m. It's Arsenal versus Atletico, man. It's always a fantastic chat with you lot. So yeah, most importantly, man, thank you lot for your support. If you ain't hit the like button or press the hype button, it helps the engagement. If you don't want the real brothers to blow, then that's what you've got to do. Follow the socials. Everything's in the description. But most importantly, man, thank you for your support. Thank you for your talking points. You lot make the platform in it. One love.